show, everyone. As all of you know, that I made it possible for everybody to talk about themselves, and I always say the same thing. Who doesn't like to talk about themselves on the radio about what you do? So I'm going to go right in with my first guest, who's been on with me for, well, we've calculated it now. It's the longest time. And yes, he has been on the show before many, many, many times, and he's on the show many, many, many times for a good reason. I have with me Ted Watkins. Tell everybody a little bit about yourself and what you do.
Okay, well, it's great to be back, Carol. I always like doing radio. Well, I'm what's, if you haven't heard me before, I'm what's called an enrolled agent before IRS. My name's Ted Watkins. And if there's actually only about 40-some thousand of us in the United States, but we're actually licensed by the federal government, and we do tax returns. But what I like doing as much or more than tax returns is helping people out who have tax issues. So if you haven't filed your tax returns in a long time, or if you have filed them and couldn't pay because of the great meltdown, or you had medical issues, etc.
Or you've been putting your head in the sand for a really long time.
That's true. Yeah, I had the last show I talked about a guy who hadn't filed since 1982.
I love that guy.
Yep, and he had
amazing.
He had a stack of unopened certified letters about a foot tall.
That's amazing. But you know, even today, I mean, and I'm just going to say this: we got a call directly from me that was for somebody that was looking for you, and you know, listen, that's what this show is all about. It's about you hearing different people who do different things. Some people call right away on you guys. Sometimes they don't. A lot of times you'll hear people say to you that they say, "Well, you know, I've heard you a lot of times, but I didn't call." Right?
Right. I had a guy that had been listening to me for 4 years last week that called in.
Wow.
And we actually got together.
He finally bit the bullet.
Pulled the bullet.
Pulled the trigger.
Called me, actually a real nice gentleman, and we're going to get him back on track.
Good.
So
see, though, that's why he comes on a lot. And also, so the people that have heard him, please understand that, you know, these people there's a lot of people out there that listen. I mean, thousands and thousands and thousands of people. There's always new people that listen. There's people from all over the entire world that actually listen on this show, and you can help people. That's why I brought that up. You can help people in the entire United States. Let's talk about that.
Okay, so because I'm licensed by the federal government, I can help you if you live in any of the 50 states, and also those places where you still alone, like Guam and Puerto Rico and all those good places. So you don't have to be a resident of Arizona. Actually, I have about clients in about 23 different states, and so I also do a lot of work with state taxing agencies like the Arizona Department of Revenue, and I came from California, so I have a lot of experience with the Franchise Tax Board. So I can also help you with if you have state tax issues in addition to IRS, then I can help you with those too.
Well, he also will go back for you 3 years for free. We're going to talk a little bit about that. Here's what Ted likes to do. He likes to have, and I say he has a very sharp pencil, and I really like that about him. He's meticulous. He has many things that he likes to give away. First of all, everyone's going to get entered in to win an either personal or business tax return for either last year, for 2015, if you haven't done it, and we know you're out there. We know those people are out there. And also, if you have, you're also going to get entered in to win the 2016. It's either a business or personal tax return. That's at least a $400 value free to you. He also loves to give away his tax organizer, which is fabulous. Everybody should have that. We're going to talk about that also, as well as you're going to get, this is the new thing that he's offering everybody, which is a record retention guide, which he said is the number one question that people ask him, which is about how long to keep your records, what to keep, and this and that. So there's a whole 4-page thing on that you're going to get for free, as well as either Starbucks card or Walmart's card. So now the more we start giving, the more time you're going to have to get from me, okay? So anyway, everyone's getting entered in to win this, and our lines are open here. Our number here is 602-277-5369, and toll free it's 1-866-536-1100. Everyone's getting entered in to win all of this good, fabulous stuff. Go ahead.
Okay, so like Carol said, I can go back the last 3 years at no cost to you, so your 2013, 14, and 15 returns. I'll take a look at those and see if they've been prepared prepared properly, and if you've taken advantage of all of the tax deductions you're entitled to. And if it looks like your return's okay, then I'll tell you that. But if it looks like we might be able to save you some significant tax money, then I would recommend we do an amended tax return. So, and also Monday is the last day for extension deadlines for individuals. So I've actually been pretty busy the last several weeks. But if you have a refund, though, Monday isn't really a drop-dead date for you. But if you owe money and you don't file by Monday, then you're going to be hit with some additional penalties and interest.
He's been doing this since 1978. He has 2 Valley locations, but can help anyone in the United States. One of them is in North Scottsdale. The other one is in North Phoenix. His website is tedwatkinsea.com. His phone number is 602-363-1952 or 480-707-7670. Keep on calling here. Our lines are open. Everyone's getting entered in to win all of this free stuff from him, which is the 2015 or 16 business or tax return. That's a $400 value free to you. The organizer we're going to talk about, the tax record retention guide, which everyone should have too, as well as the Walmart card or the Walmart card or the Starbucks card. Again, our number here is 602-277-5369. And for across the whole nation, it's toll-free 1-866-536-1100. Okay. No, I want to talk a little bit again about your it's that time of year. Everybody's files are just filling up. And they really should start now actually getting their tax organizer together. Let's talk about yours.
Okay, you bet. So, yeah, it is a good time to start getting all of your tax records in order. And if you go onto my website, which is tedwatkinsea.com, on the home page on the left side, you'll see a little icon that says Tax Center. Then if you click on that, it'll take you and it says Free Tax Organizer, I believe. And what that is, it's a 15-page what we call a tax organizer, but you don't have to be really intimidated by it because it's kind of a one-size-fits-all. So if you have rental properties or if you've sold stock during the year or if you have your own small business, it covers all that. But what's really good about it is that if you take a few minutes to go through it, you'll be able to pick up almost every legal tax deduction you're entitled to. And there's a lot more than you think, even if you don't have a business. A lot of people forget that you can deduct mileage for medical trips, mileage to go to charities and things like that. So there's a lot of deductions that you may not be familiar with that are on my tax organizer. And I also have, if 15 pages is too much for you, I came up with one. It's called What to Do or What to Bring with You to Your Tax Interview. And it's just one page, but it covers most of the major items that you need to bring. But again, I would encourage you to spend 10 or 15 minutes going over the tax organizer.
Well, here's the thing. I'm going to give it to everybody who's calling in, so that makes it easier. We're going to go to a break. When we come back, we're going to talk further. Our number here is 602-277-5369. Toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. I know it's Friday, but it's tax season coming around the corner, and you know how fast things go. So give us a call. Get entered in to win. 602-277-5369. So welcome back. We're talking with Ted Watkins, and he is an enrolled agent. He can help anyone here in Arizona as well as in every state, every 50 state that we have here. He has 2 Valley locations. One is in North Scottsdale. The other one is in North Phoenix. His website is tedwatkinsea.com. You can also call him direct. He does free consultations. We forgot to tell him that. That's another thing he does for free. And that's 602-363-1952 or 480-707-7670. And our lines are open here, and everyone's getting entered in to win either the business or personal tax return from last year, 2015. If you have been putting your head in the sand, we know you're out there. So yes, you could call in and he'll help you with that. Or 2016 for a new one, and that's a $400 value at least free to you. He will go back 3 years for free. You're also getting entered in to win the tax organizer, which I think everybody should have that. Everyone should have it. Also, the record retention guide, you're going to get that for free, as well as the Starbucks card or the Walmart card. And our number here is 602-277-5369. And toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. So, got that out. Did you tell us a little bit? You said you had some things that you want to talk about today.
Okay. Well, first I wanted to say that why should you use an enrolled agent? Okay?
Yeah, why should you?
Why should you? That's right. So we kind of touched on one reason is that I can help you in all 50 states. But also enrolled agents, if you have a tax issue, there's only 3 groups of people that can help you. 1 is enrolled agents, 2 would be CPAs, and 3 would be attorneys. So all you do is you sign an IRS power of attorney, and then you don't have to talk to them again. And most people don't like talking to them, and most people are not hurt themselves a lot of times.
They talk too much.
They talk too much, they get nervous, and they volunteer information that they're not really obligated to give to them. So that's one reason you want. For me, I've been doing it since 1978. I don't think we said that.
Yeah, I did.
Oh, you did? Okay.
I say it all.
Okay. So anyway, I've been doing it a long time. I've done thousands of cases, and I don't, to me, it's just part of my job, so I don't get emotionally involved in the case.
I want to say something, though, because even though you're an enrolled agent, first of all, you want to talk a little bit about your prices because you don't charge any more. But also, I want people that are listening that think that just because that if you're going to use an enrolled agent, you have to have some sort of trouble. No, you don't. And the nice thing is when he talks to you a little bit about his prices, it's nothing like having an enrolled agent do your taxes, whether you're in trouble or not.
That's right. Well, Carol brought up a great point. You don't have to have tax issues because I do several hundred just regular tax returns every year. And my prices, in most cases, will be less than or not about the same as H&R Block or Liberty or Jackson Hewitt. But I have a lot more experience than most of their preparers, so I can, in most cases, save you a lot of tax dollars that they might miss. So that's another reason that to use me as your enrolled agent. And also enrolled agents, we specialize in taxes. We have to have 24 hours of continuing education specifically in taxes every year. So now I'm not here to badmouth CPAs or anyone else, but we're specifically tax people. Most of us don't do a heck of a lot of accounting. We do mainly tax.
Also, you've been coming on this show for 7 years. And you've helped thousands of people out there. I'm not kidding you. I mean, 7 years he's been coming on this show, and he's been helping lots and lots and lots of people from all over the country. And that's why you should give him a call. He does a free consultation. That number is 602-363-1952 or 480-707-7670. You can check him out on his website. It's tedwatkinsea.com. Or call us here. Get entered in to win. We'll get you connected with him for all this stuff that he's giving away. It's worth it to talk to him. 602-277-5369 and toll free. It's 1-866-536-1100.
Okay. One thing I wanted to talk about too is the Arizona has an amnesty program which is going on, and it actually expires on August 31st, which is 2 weeks from Monday. So the way that works is if you owe taxes from 2013 and older years, the Arizona Department of Revenue will waive all of the penalties and interest, and they also won't go after you criminally either. So now, unfortunately, it doesn't cover 2014, 2015 tax years, but if you've got some old stuff...
yeah, but who cares? Because that guy you told me was like, since when?
Yeah, 1982.
So he had a lot.
He has a lot,
okay.
Yeah. But anyway, they won't, you don't have to worry about them coming after you and criminally, and also they'll get rid of all the penalties and interest. So all you're responsible for is the taxes. So that's a really good, they do it every once in a while, but they don't do it very often.
Let me ask you something. Let's say somebody is to work with you. You go back to 3 years for free for them. Once you start working with them, is it the same? Like, let's say somebody was to hire somebody as an attorney to work for their BK or whatever, and immediately when they hire that person, that stops the creditors from calling them. Is it the same thing for you too? If they hire you, does it stop them from being able to levy their accounts or whatever? Because they will. They're brutal.
Yeah, they are. In most cases, that's true, because what I can do is call the IRS or the Department of Revenue, and they'll usually give me what they call a collection hold, and usually I can get anywhere between 60 and 90 days. And what a collection hold means is they're not going to issue any levies against your bank account or your salary or wages. And the IRS can take most of what you take home from your salary or wages. In fact, you wouldn't even be able to pay your utilities what they allow you to keep, because they haven't changed any of the exemptions in over 40 years. So it's really brutal if you get a wage levy. But also, they can strip your bank account clean too, and they aren't required to give you any notice. So I've had a case a few weeks ago where they took they went around to 5 different bank accounts around town and took every dime the guy had. Plus, they charge you, or the banks charge you $100. They call it a legal fee. So you can they'll charge you that, and they'll chase you if they strip your account. Then they'll chase you for the $100.
Wow.
So it's pretty bad.
It is pretty bad. So, but you know what? We know that a lot of people do put their head in the sands when it comes to taxes. They get in trouble. A lot of people got hurt in the crash, and they got behind. And sometimes when you get behind, it becomes a snowball effect.
That's right. I will say that since the meltdown, the IRS has gotten more lenient in helping people out. They'll go on a longer monthly payment plan. They'll go up to 72 months now, and it's actually become a lot easier to negotiate a payment plan. Now, unfortunately, that's not the case with the Arizona Department of Revenue, but the IRS has gotten a lot easier, and they'll even put you, if you're not working or only working part-time, they'll put you in what they call currently not collectible status. What that means is you don't have to make a monthly payment to them. Now, the taxes don't go away, unfortunately. They have 10 years to collect from the time you file your returns. But at least if you're really in a terrible economic situation, you won't have to worry about making a payment to them.
Well, he has 2 Valley locations. One is in North Scottsdale. The other one is in North Phoenix. His website is tedwatkinsea.com. He does free consultations. You can call him direct at 602-363-1952 or 480-707-7670. But we've got our lines open, and I'm going to let everyone call throughout the rest of the show to get entered in to win either the business or personal tax return. That's a $400 value free to you from 2015 if you haven't done it. Also, for the 2016 for something new, it's a $400 at least value free to you. Also, you're going to get the tax organizer. I believe everyone should have that. It is 15 pages, but everyone should have it and look at it and see what works for you and make sure you're getting all your deductions. The record retention guide is 4 pages long of all sorts of things that you need to retention to keep. And also, you're going to get the Walmart card and the Starbucks card from us. So from him. So 602-277-5369 and toll free. It's 1-866-536-1100. What else do you want to talk about before we go?
Okay. Well, one thing I wanted to, this is pretty directed toward business owners, but the Department of Labor has come out with some new regulations which take effect on December 1st about who you have to pay overtime to. And so now an employee earns $913 a week or less, you have to pay them overtime. So, used to be the rule was if they earn $455 a week or less. So you should look into that, because they've really upped the penalties on that too. And it's overtime in Arizona is anything over 40 hours a week, but like in California, it's anything over 8 hours a day. So if you own a small business or a large business or whatever, you should take a look at those, because they're coming up in another month and a half or so.
What's your final words before I get out all the things that you're giving to everybody? Okay,
well, I would just say that don't hide your head in the sand.
Don't hide your head in your sand, little boy.
Yeah, don't hide your, because if you're proactive with the IRS and the other states, then a lot of times, number one, we can get the penalties and interest. Sometimes we can get those reduced for you. Also, we can stop if you're under an ongoing wage levy. A lot of times I can get those released for you. So just come forward and we'll negotiate a that's a good settlement for you.
Well, he is offering for everyone to get entered in to win the business or personal tax return if you haven't done your taxes for 2015 or the 16 if you have done them, and have an enrolled agent do your taxes for you with a very sharp pencil. He is very meticulous. He's been doing this since 1978. He can help you anywhere from here in Arizona all across the entire United States of America. He can help all you there. He will go back for you for free years, 3 years for free. He does free consultations. He's going to give you the tax organizer. All you have to do is call here for that. The record retention guide, as well as the Walmart card or the Starbucks card. Call throughout the rest of the show, 602-277-5369, and toll free it's 1-866-536-1100.